While strong Etsy keyword SEO is important, it may bring you your initial 10 to maybe 15 views on the actual listing. If your main thumbnail image is not earning the majority of clicks compared to your competition, that listing is quickly going to get suppressed by the Etsy algorithm and you are not going to be given any more traffic. And this is because Etsy SEO is 99% determined on how people actually interact with your listing, not just the keywords that you put into your listing. And that's why you can find tens of thousands of case studies, examples of this. You can find listings like this that have a major demand indicator, but no keywords in terms of their title being SEO optimized. Or examples like this with another 20 add to carts indicator, or listings like this with 4 purchased in the last 24 hours. And the title has literally 0 keywords in terms of it being SEO optimized. Your Etsy main image is the most critical factor in determining your Etsy listing success. And that is why in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take unengaging, boring product photography like this and turn it into something like this in a matter of seconds. So you can ensure when you click publish, if your listing doesn't make sales, it's not because of your product photography. Really excited because I'm going to show you how to do this with the most powerful AI Etsy design tool on the market.
And if you stay until the end, we're going to give you a secret strategy where we are going to use a proven design that's already selling 10 plus times in the last 24 hours. And we're going to launch our own version of it from start to finish using their templates, followed by creating the actual winning design, placing it on a mockup, and putting it in a video format, all with AI in a matter of seconds. So you are going to want to stay until the end so you can see how we're making this listing that already has 10 plus sold in the last 24 hours. All right, so let's get into it.
And as you know, on this channel, I only talk about tools that I actually use. So I don't promote things that I wouldn't actually use for my business. So in this video today, we're going to use a tool called Kittl, and we're actually using this for our business. We have built processes right now to use this design tool for our own product photography because we spend an enormous amount of time and money on our images, and this is about to wipe out an entire department in our company. Not to mention that Kittl's AI tool is now integrated with Nano, which is said to be a far more advanced tool in terms of design than the ChatGPT design tool. And what we want to do with our product photography is we want to move away from random processes and move towards proven processes. So we're going to go through a step-by-step strategy of 1, how to identify gaps in your existing product photography, and by 2, fixing them automatically with AI with Kittl. So let's get into step number 1. So step number 1 is track your competition. Whether you know it or not, selling on Etsy is a competition because you are showing up directly against your competition. So that means if your listing is not earning that click and you have about 2 seconds to earn that click in comparison to everyone else, and it's not 2020 anymore, you can't just rely on randomness like we used to back in 2020. We need to take a data-driven approach and look what the data is telling us is proven to get the majority of clicks. And the way that we're going to do this is by actually tracking and keeping tabs on our direct competition. Our direct competition are people that are fighting for the same click for the same customer avatar as us. If you're selling a golden retriever shirt, right, your competition is not someone selling German Shepherd shirt, right? Because sure, they're both pet shirts, but they're attracting 2 different customer avatars. You want to select listings that are actually competing for the same purchase decision as yours. And we're going to do this right inside of ProfitTree. So in ProfitTree, we now have a competitor tracking tool where you can track your competition's listings compared to yours.
All right, so we are in ProfitTree's listing tracking tool right here. So when you launch a product on Etsy, it should already proven. So at this stage, if you're at the stage of actually tracking your listing in comparison to your competition, right, you have already selected a product that you know is going to make sales. Why do you know that? You know that because before you launch the product, you should have already conducted your product validation and your research. So you know that the product that you're selling is actually going to sell before you even launch it. Now, that is the first part. If you don't know how to do product research, don't worry, we're going to touch on it a little bit in this video. But if not, I can link below another video that shows you how to validate your products. But at this point, you've already posted your listing. You know that the actual product, so the actual thing in that product is validated. Otherwise, you wouldn't have launched it. Now, if you launched your product that is validated and it's not making sales in comparison to your competition, that just means that something in your listing is not converting compared to your competition. So we need to fix whatever it is that we need to fix to get that listing to sell. And remember, 9 times out of 10, this happens because our product image is not winning the click. So that just means something with our main image is not converting compared to our competition. So first, I'm going to show you how you actually track your competition. So in that product research phase, we're going to come into Product Finder and we're going to type in corduroy pillow because that is what we are selling. And let's see if we can find other listings that are beating us. So here's the one that we already have tracking. So we have a little tracking icon here that we clicked on and we're tracking. So we're tracking these top sellers. You can see 1+ people have bought in the last 24 hours on this one. 1 person bought in the last 24 hours on this one. This is a personalized pillow. That's not a direct competition. So we only want people that are directly competing for that click. Here is another one. This one has 1+ people have in their cart. I'm not sure if this one's doing better than ours, but I'm going to add it here so you can see I made a collection called corduroy pillows. So now it's tracking and adding. So now let's go back into our listing corduroy pillow collection. Okay, so you can see now we're still at the bottom. All of these listings are making more monthly sales than ours. So now let's analyze what they're doing differently in the main image. And it's very, very clear, right? All of these listings have multiple colors in the main image. So they're showing the array of colors in the main image. And what's interesting about our listing is we actually do offer different colors. We're just not showcasing that. So we put the listings separately, but we actually do have different colors to offer. And so what we're going to do is we are going to make a new listing based off of this data that's telling us, hey, these are the top sellers, right? All of these have one thing in common, and ours is obviously the standout black sheep here, right? So we are going to go and we need to get new product imagery with all of our different colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and I'm going to use an AI tool inside of Kittl to do this. So I have all of these pillows separately. See, we actually have 3 different color options. We just don't have a shot with them all in the same image. So I am going to go and create this with AI. So these are images that we actually shot ourselves. These are not AI images. I know they're really good, but I've been testing out Kittl's flows and smartboards features to make AI generated pictures. And it's actually insane. Like, I was very, very skeptical of AI images.
Now that we understand what we need to do in order to compete, we are now going to hop into Kittl and create competing images and videos for our listings. So let's get into it.
All right. So as you can see here, I'm setting up some smartboards. So I literally took a screenshot of just the 3 pictures that we already had, since we know they're not working, right? So we proved that corduroy pillows can make regular sales, right? We have the proof of that because we know that some of our competition is selling over 100 per month, where we're selling 0 per month, right? So we are going to actually try to fix this, right? Because we have the ability to. So I just took a screenshot of the 3 pictures separately and I said, here are 3 Etsy pillows I sell in my shop. Stage them on a couch side by side so I can make a listing where the main image shows all 3 colors in one image. The pillows on the couch should be the same pillows in my artboard. So this is an artboard and this is a smart board. So now it's going to take the data from here and turn it into this. So it literally perfectly took the colors, the pillows, and everything and put it here. But I actually want to change the staging environment completely. So I'm going to take this a step further and I'm going to say, really good job. Go ahead and change the staging environment completely to a boho couch with some more plants in the background. Make the pillows all be side by side, facing the same direction. Let's just see what that does for us. Oh my gosh, that's actually really, really good. And it even made it bigger. So that looks awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to go and make even more of this. So I'm going to add another smart board. Give me another shot like this, but closer up for some Etsy images. Wow, that is awesome. So now we have a close-up shot, we have a far away shot. Try to get it to make a video for us. So I'm going to click on it and we're going to go add video board and we're going to give it some instructions. Do make a video I can use for my Etsy listing showcasing the pillows close up and potentially someone picking up the center pillow. And take out the word potentially and generate. All right, so here is the video. Let's see how it did. It looks like it's sized good. Perfect. Someone picks up the pillow. Oh, that's pretty good. And it's 6 seconds long, so this one is usable. Very cool. Very, very cool. Another really cool test I did was with this wall art. So I took an image like this that's not staged at all, and I asked it to put it into a mock-up and place it into a mock-up for me. So I know a lot of times people are spending, you're spending a lot of money on mock-ups and then placing it yourself on the mock-up. Now it will create the mock-up for you and just put it on there for you. So you can see the prompt we used here was place this wall art in a boho style mock-up staging environment for my Etsy listing. Make it closer and proportional 10 by 13 size. And so here you can see all of the options that it gave me. It's absolute perfect. I've already uploaded this. This is great. And then I also had it make a video. So a 6-second video showing the details, which this came out really, really good, right? So if you don't have videos, even something like this is this is going to help. This is going to help you get more clicks. It's going to help you get more engagement. And then I did it with this one as well. So on this one, I actually used the background remover. So it was similar to this. And then I came over here and I clicked remove background. And then I prompted it to do the same thing. And you can see the different options that it's given me here as well. Super, super detailed. I think this is the winning one, but these little details are what matters. So it grabbed it perfectly. And yeah, now you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars a month on mockups either.
If you guys want to try out Kittl, the link is in the description and you can use discount code Gardner for 25% off any paid plan, whether that's annual or monthly.
Now, as promised, we're going to go through the entire process of launching a proven design. Okay, so we touched on this before, but every single product that you launch in your shop should be proven with demand that it's going to sell before it sells. So that means if you launch a listing that has proven demand with a proven design and yours doesn't sell, that means that you haven't tweaked the listing enough or enhanced the listing enough or added more value in the listing to make it win. But it can win because you validated demand. So that just means you have to keep iterating on that one idea more and more, continue to launch that one listing before you move on to another concept to get it to work, basically. Well, I would launch a couple, launch 3 to 4 versions of it, right? And after 30 days, if one of them doesn't take off, then continue to iterate on it. This is because, again, that it can work because you validated the demand before you launched it. So I typed in funny shirt here, and you can see that this one out the gates has a big demand indicator. So this is saying that it has sold over 10 times in the last 24 hours. And this shirt is basically saying, if we click on it here, don't worry, I got this. I watched a YouTube video. So this is a very simple design, but there's a lot of ways that we can add value to this listing. You can see that the listing is less than 1 year old. So that means it's a newer listing. So it's been launched in a short amount of time. It doesn't have personalization. It doesn't offer free shipping, probably to do loss leader pricing. And it's doing a lot of monthly sales. It's not a star seller for the shop. So there's a lot of opportunity to compete here, especially because this is a pretty simple design. And I think that we can beat this very easily. Other things that they're doing is the loss leader pricing. So it's not actually $9. It's just pink is $9, which no one's buying. No guy is going to buy this in pink, right? So it's just to show the cheaper price on the front end, which is earning them that click. They're also running a daily sale, right? But there's huge demand indicators here. It has the 20 add to cart badge, a bestseller badge, and 10 purchase in the last 24 hours, right? So now let's go ahead and try to recreate this concept in Kittl. So again, you have to add value and make it different. If you just copy the listing one for one, you're not doing yourself any good. You want to figure out how you can make it different, how you can add more value. So I see that they're saying funny barbecue shirt for Father's Day, for Father's tea, gift for dad. It doesn't say Father's Day, but so this is going along the lines of barbecue. So I went into Kittl and I typed in funny barbecue design and I found this one here. So I'm going to click on use template. And I actually have a really good idea for this because, again, we want to figure out how to differentiate, how to make it better and different. So I'm actually going to go and try to get it to make a version of this, but for TikTok. So similar saying, but don't worry, I got this. I watch TikTok. So let's go ahead and make the prompt for this. Okay, so this is pretty funny. And I think this is way more engaging than the YouTube one. So I think the design alone is beating the proven one, but you don't really know until you launch it. But I think this is really hilarious. So I took this one and I turned it into don't worry, I got this. I watch TikTok. This is a very complex design. There was a lot of instruction on this if you read what we wrote here. So I want to recreate a similar design for a shirt, make the design similar to the vibe in the image, but instead of a hot dog, turn it into a TikTok logo with a face and sunglasses that says, don't worry, I got this at the top, and below, I watch TikTok. The shirt design is a funny play on people who think that they can do anything because they watched a few TikTok videos. Give me the design only with the same comfort color beige background and the TikTok guy with hands holding tools on each side. So that pretty much made it perfect. And that's actually hilarious. Like I would go ahead, this is a funny dad shirt. I would go ahead and launch this directly onto a mockup. So now let's go ahead and place this on an actual mockup so we can launch this perfectly in our store. So just before I put this on a mockup, I do want to show you that I did the same prompt. So I went here and I clicked remix and then I said, make these the same, but for YouTube. And it made me two versions. So I like this one with the smile. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. So this is what I mean iterating on the idea. So it's not just one idea and then one concept. You're going to iterate on the concept as many times as possible and launch it until you get an equivalent bestseller. So I could do this for also Instagram Reels as well. So TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And then this is one design type. I could then duplicate all of these again and change up the font, change up the positioning a little bit, change up the type of graphic, get a different vibe graphic. And now all of a sudden you took one idea and turned it into 7 or 8 listings. And this is what I mean when it's iterate until you get it to work because you know it can work because you validated demand to start. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just duplicate this like this because now I want to actually position this on a mockup. There is a remove background here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the background. And now I'm going to ask it to put this on a mockup for me. Okay, so this is actually pretty hilarious and actually insane how good it made it. So I said, place the design on a comfort color beige t-shirt mockup so I can post this image as my lead image in my Etsy listing. Use a male as the model wearing the shirt. Make sure you use an in-trend mockup style and place this design on that shirt. So this is pretty good. And because it's a funny, it's like a kind of a gimmick shirt, this actually works great. Because if you look at this one, I mean, this is, again, it's not doing anything spectacular. So I am going to come back here and let this other one populate just so we can see what the second option looks like. And this is the second option. The only thing that I would almost recommend, this actually is perfect. Literally the only thing I would recommend, I'd probably use this one instead of this one. This one's a little bit too Tulum vibes. I think this is a little bit more rustic and dad feeling. The only thing I would recommend it do is actually make the design a little bit smaller. So let's go ahead and instruct it. Perfect. So you can see I went ahead and made it a little tiny bit smaller. Could even go probably a little bit smaller than this as well. And again, this is using all of these AI generation is being done with that nano banana selection. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go generate video board. So create an engaging video I can use for my Etsy listing. And I'm going to make this instead of 4 seconds, we're going to go and make it 6 seconds to grab viewers' attention and get the sale. So now it's going to actually create the video for this listing. Cool. And this is the video that I came up with. It is 6 seconds and this is usable for Etsy. You can even change the dimensions here, which I would probably suggest. Let's see what Etsy needs to be. So both of these sizes are actually perfectly fine for your Etsy video. So this is how I would go about creating a proven design start to finish. And I mean, you can see the scalability of this because again, you have TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and then you can take this whole thing and create a second version of it with slightly different changes until you get it to win.
And if you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to be putting out more videos on the impact of how all of these new updated images has affected our sales in the upcoming months. So if you're curious to know what our numbers are after we do all these updates, please go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned. All right, guys. Bye, guys.